Hello and welcome. My name's Andy Crook and I'm your host for this training topic on the 3Ds of decision making, the stupidly simple system to help you make better decisions. My mission is to help garage owners become more successful in business. How do I do that? Most weeks I try to go live on a training topic on one of the 5 pillars of business as I see it. This week we're in the people and performance pillar and we're talking about the 3Ds of decision making. The 3Ds of decision making are whether or not you're going to do it, defer it, or delete it. Sounds really simple. But if you run a garage, mastering the 3Ds could save you hours a week and a whole lot of stress. Let's face it, being the boss isn't just about fixing cars. It's being the CEO, what I call the Chief Everything Officer. It's estimated that on a typical day, the average adult makes around 35,000 decisions. And if you're a business owner, you will make approximately 7,000 more business decisions, from ordering parts, prioritizing work, handling customers, to deciding what to have for lunch. Now that's one every 1.3 seconds. Your brain is now working overtime, which is why mastering the 3Ds of decision making is a bit like turbocharging your decision management. So why are you drowning in decisions? Do you ever feel like you spend more time reacting than running your business? Well, the reason could be simple, and it's this: nearly every decision is going through you. And that's going to result in decision fatigue. And it's a real thing, and it's one of the real silent killers of productivity. A recent study from Columbia University found that the more decisions we make, the worse our decisions become. That's why sometimes by 3 p.m. you're absolutely exhausted. You're finding it harder to concentrate and agreeing to things that you haven't had time to consider. Instead of treating every task and decision as equal, we can filter them through a simple system. Do, defer, or delete. So when do you need to do it? Some things just need doing, quickly and without drama. If it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it. This golden rule comes from David Allen's Getting Things Done, and it works a quick callback dealing with a customer complaint. Or reviewing that quote, just get it done. This is the fast lane. No faffing, no sticky notes. Do it, done, dusted. But be aware, don't confuse quick with urgent. You should only do the quick, urgent and important tasks. This is what I call the firefighting zone. But here's the brutal truth. If you're doing everything, or if every decision goes through you, you're holding the business back. You are the bottleneck, and you must learn to delegate. Delegation isn't a luxury, it's a business skill. If someone else can do it and you're still doing it, ask yourself why. Be honest with yourself. Is it trust? Is it control? Or is it just habit? Studies show that owners who delegate grow 30% faster than those who don't. But why is that? It's because the owners who delegate are focused on only what they can do in the business. Things like strategy, building relationships, anything that involves growing or operating the business. So here's a tip. Each time you start a task or you're about to start a task, ask yourself this: should I really be the one doing this? And if not, delegate it. If you're not used to delegating or others don't know what to do and are continuously coming to you asking questions, use a document, demonstrate, duplicate systems building method. I'll do a training topic on this in the future. Because if the task or the decision is urgent but not important, should you be the one doing it? And if it's urgent but not important, it shouldn't take your time up. Somebody else within the business should be able to do it. And that's when you should delegate it. It's quick and simple, but it needs doing by somebody else. And that's when you should delegate it. This is what I call the reactive zone. We find ourselves in 2 zones primarily within our businesses. It's of no real fault other than the fact that we don't really stop and take stock of where we are and what we're doing. We spend all our time either firefighting or being reactive. And you can stop that. It's all about this decision-making matrix. So when should you defer something? If you're not going to do it, what should you do? If you defer it, what we call parking it properly, because deferring is not the same as ignoring. It's prioritizing with purpose. Let's say you've got a big idea to revamp the garage website. Great, but not this week. Not when you've got payroll, parts delays, and a meeting with a new supplier. You need to defer it. Park it, log it, and schedule it. But use a proper task manager, not your brain, you will forget, and block out time later in the week or the month to give it the attention it deserves. You can use a simple calendar for this, set reminders, etc. Do not try and remember it. It's not something that you can just defer. Deferring it is logging it somewhere where you know you're going to address it later. As a small business owner, you should be spending at least 3 to 5 days every month working on your business, around 1 day per week. Even if you're a solopreneur, you need to spend more time than you currently are working on your business. If you can't do it now and you can't delegate it, put it on your to-do list. Your to-do list should be all the things that are important, the things that you can do or only you can do, but not urgent. Because if they were important and urgent, you'd have done them. These are the important but not urgent tasks. And have a to-do list of these tasks. And what you'll find is if you review this list once a week, probably on a Friday, just before you finish, you'll be shocked at how many things either have sorted themselves out or aren't that urgent or important after all. Now, what we want to think about here is something called the Eisenhower matrix. And that's the best way of prioritizing decisions or tasks. And basically all the Eisenhower matrices, I've done a training topic on this. You'll find it in the guides. I'll be releasing it as a podcast shortly because I did it, it's got to be 3.5 years ago. He identified 4 types of decisions or tasks. They were urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and not urgent and not important. He basically put them in different quadrants. So if you've got a piece of paper and you split it into 4, you'd end up with 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1 are the urgent and important tasks, the things that you need to do now. And then quadrant 2 are important but not urgent. And this is what I call the proactive zone. Quadrant 1, urgent and important, firefighting zone. Quadrant 2, important but not urgent, proactive zone. This is where we need to spend more and more of our time. But we don't, because we spend most of our time in quadrant 1, firefighting, or in quadrant 3, urgent but not important, in the reactive zone. So quadrant 4, not urgent and not important, this one, when we come down to it, is when we're going to delete it, because if it's not urgent and not important, why are you doing it? So over time, because this isn't a quick fix, the number of decisions you need to make will reduce, because you will start to build a business and not carry on with a job. You will empower your staff, who will create systems and processes that require less and less of your input. And if you use the document, demonstrate, duplicate systems building method, that's how you do it. Trust, control, and habits will then be transferred, leaving you with more time to work on and not in the business. You will spend more time working on the proactive zone. Important, but not urgent. So when things are not urgent and not important, we're going to delete them, because some things don't deserve to be done, delegated, or deferred. They deserve to be deleted. That meeting that you always attend out of obligation. That supplier quote you've already said no to twice. That email thread about the job you quoted but you're never getting. Delete them. Remove the procrastination zone from your business. Warren Buffett once said the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. Successful garage owners are the ones who focus. And focus comes from filtering. Filtering starts with the 3 Ds. Do it, defer it, delete it. And focus is actually an acronym for follow one course until successful. So how do you follow one course? Well, you need to have a plan. You need to have a strategy. You need to understand how you're going to get from where you are now to where you want to get to in steps. And that's why I'm always saying about having a plan which you write down, having a vision. then having goals, and then having a 1-year plan. And that's really the essence of this technique. Only works if you know what those things are, because the 3Ds is your secret weapon. Just like you've already got tools in the workshop and your staff are trained and competent in using them, you now need tools and training for your business, for your decision making. And here's how to implement the 3Ds of decision making in your business. You need to write down every task or decision that comes your way during the day, even the small stuff. And then once you've got that list, put it in an Eisenhower matrix, because it'll help you prioritize. You'll know whether you're going to do it, delegate it, defer it, or delete it, because of which quadrant it sits in. Review your list at the end of the day and repeat this for as long as it takes, because like exercise, it only works if you do it regularly. You need to start building your decision-making muscles. By the end of the week, month, or maybe even a quarter, you'll feel more in control of your business. You'll feel sharper because you're making fewer decisions. You'll feel lighter, as if some of the burden has been lifted off you, because it has. And isn't that what you always wanted when you started in business? Because the majority of people start their own business to have more time or financial freedom. And this is a way of getting back some of that time. Here's some final thoughts about the 3Ds. And decisions define direction. Every decision you make, or don't make, is like adjusting the course of your business. Tiny corrections, done consistently, take you to your destination. An aeroplane is only on its true course twice during a flight. On the runway during takeoff, and hopefully on the right runway when you land. The pilot or autopilot is consistently correcting to maintain the course. And this is the same for your business. Because if you think about those 42,000 decisions that you made, you can't remember most of them, because a large percentage of those decisions were made subconsciously. And how can you make a subconscious decision about the course you're taking if you don't know what that course is? That's what leads to a lack of focus, and that's what puts you in this position in the first place. So the next time you're hit with a what do I do about this moment, remember the 3Ds and either do it yourself because it's urgent and important, or delegate it because it's urgent but not important, defer it because it's important but not urgent, or delete it because it's neither important or urgent. Simple? Yes. Easy? Not always. Worth it? Absolutely. Because running a garage doesn't mean you have to do everything. What it does mean, though, is you need to learn to do what's important and know when to delegate and delete the rest. Remember, what's stopping you is starting, and if you should, you must. Thanks for listening.